Okay, in this video we're looking at mounting vintage lenses using speed boosters to micro four thirds cameras, and specifically in this video we're using the Panasonic GH6, but the mounting options will work similarly for other M43 cameras. So to start off, we've done a video about just manually connecting vintage lenses to the Panasonic GH6, which I'll link that up in the corner. And all the pieces from this video I'll link in the description, but they are in other videos that we've done. So the speed booster we're using, I did a video about why you might want to use speed boosters, what they do, what the kind of benefits are, and again I'll link that up in the corner. So we're kind of, it's going to be fairly brief kind of overview doing this. It's just because I had a question from Jordan, who asked, can you mount M42 lenses to using a speed booster to the Panasonic GH6? So we're just going to kind of run through this because it's not something I've done before, but I've got all the pieces to do it, so I just thought I'll give it a go, and we can kind of see. So first off, what we can kind of do, we've got so this is an M42 lens. It's the Helios 44-2, and we've got the Viltrox. It's the micro four thirds to EF mount. And then for this we've got the EF mount, so Canon mount, to M42, which is a screw thread adapter. So what we'll do is we'll start to kind of assemble this. So we've got the M42 lens, the Helios, and we'll screw it onto the adapter. And like I say, this is just a screw thread, there's no locking pins or anything, so you just have to make sure it's sort of fairly tight. Don't over tighten it too much or it could get stuck on the lens. And then we've got the EF side of the speed booster. On my one I've just got this white reference point to kind of lock it in. So we start off there, turn it till it clicks, and mine's got a just a small hole in it just as a lock-in point. And then we've got a kind of, that's our lens there ready to go. And then we remove our micro four thirds lens. I'll just take the back off of this quickly, just so we don't get the back of the lens dirty, and then we'll swap that. And again, we're just mounting the, lining up the red points, click it together. Okay, and then that essentially is our setup. And then what we'll do is when we switch the camera on, we get kind of confronted with this message, which is actually correct. It's the that is the correct lens. It's the Helios 44-2 58mm. The camera doesn't know that because the lens can't send it any information. It's just because this is the lens that I was last using with the camera. I've got a video about what this is, this kind of menu, and why you need to change it. It's to do with stabilization settings, but in this we can actually just say we don't want to change the setting because that's correct. And we might struggle a little bit locking on to anything with this because it's a fairly long lens. You can just about see that, it's a pretty clean image, and it's there's not too much distortion or anything. It actually looks pretty good. So it's it does actually work, and I've given it actually a few goes now, and it's actually quite a nice combination because the sort of effects you get from some of these older lenses, like the bokeh from it, is it looks really good in low light, and because you're getting an extra stop of light through the speed booster, you're actually it makes these kind of more usable in low light scenes, which is quite nice because a lot of them, they don't have the lowest apertures. This one's not actually too bad. It's f2, so it's pretty good, but it stops down even further than that. So yeah, you can or stops. Yeah, it depends how you want to say it, but yeah, it actually drops past that now, which is really good for low light. And also the other benefit of it, this being a fairly tight lens, when we use the speed booster and you kind of work it out, it makes it more of like a 40mm lens, so just over sort of around 41mm. So it actually makes it a little bit more usable in some sort of scenarios as well. So yeah, it's actually quite a nice little setup using the speed booster and the vintage lenses. So yeah, to kind of answer that question, it is possible, and yeah, it's probably worth it. I mean, would I buy a speed booster just to speed boost vintage lenses? Probably not, no. But at the same time, you've got if you've got one of these already, then you're really only buying this piece here, which is you can get them for less than sort of £10, $10. So yeah, it's a no-brainer really if you want to get a little bit more out of your vintage lenses. Then yeah, it's a really nice option. So yeah, hopefully that helped. If it did, give the video a like. If you want to see more videos about the Panasonic GH6, then check out the playlist on this channel. And yeah, please subscribe.